Hey everybody, this guy right here, Ray Fluck, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool. I'd like to welcome you back yet again to another edition of the Weekly Static. This is our 28th edition, so we are actually over the hump mark for season one. And I'm glad you guys are joining me today. Again, our constant work in progress. I'm going to have some cool stuff to talk to you about regarding the Weekly Static at the end of this, but without hesitation, let's get to why we are here today. Again, for those of you who are new, the Weekly Static, what I do is I take a look back at 5 topics from the past week in Bleeding Cool television coverage and give you my thought, my perspective, my take on it. See what you guys think. Let me know. Comments, I believe, are back, so you can let me know down below. You can also hit me up through social media that's listed down below too. So let me know what you think. If you agree, if you don't agree, if you got other thoughts on the topics that I'm talking about, please make sure to let me know. Okay. For those of you who don't know how we do this, we do top 5. Is that original? No, it's not, but at least I own up to my unoriginality. I am a huge John Cusack fan. I am a huge fan of majority of his films. Yes, even Hot Tub Time Machine. But High Fidelity is one of my favorite, and the whole top 5 things scene is basically where I'm cribbing this from. So I own it. But here we go, folks. Top 5 in no specific order. We're starting off number 1. Fox has announced that So You Think You Can Dance has been renewed for a 15th season. Let me tell you, I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am about that. I am a huge So You Think You Can Dance fan. I'll be honest, I've gone a little lapse last couple of years, especially when they've done change-ups and things like that to how they do it. And to me, it was always had a really good, great, steady formula that I'm really, really, really big fan of. But I like what they've been doing with it lately. And, you got Mary back, you got Nigel Catt. I think he's a fantastic host. Vanessa Hudgens, who I'm becoming a big, big, big fan of across the board in a lot of different ways, both how she is in this, how she's been in her acting roles too. So she's been a nice addition also. But again, if for no other reason, I think back to Mark and Chelsea season 4, Bleeding Love. That will always, in seasons of some fantastic performances, that will always be my favorite. So yeah, we are actually starting off with the dance topic. I own it. I love the show. It's fantastic. So for our first topic, number 5, as we count down, So You Think You Can Dance being renewed. So now we look at number 4. Lauren Cohan has been signed to a series for ABC with Scandal Scott Foley, and of course that's bringing everybody into crazy contention about, oh my god, does that mean they're going to get rid of her for The Walking Dead? I want to talk about this because, again, we're living in a day and age now where actors are finding they can do multiple projects and multiple series just because of how different shooting schedules are now. We don't live in the day and age of 26-episode seasons anymore, like, again, with the X-Files and Gillian Anderson. With the way seasons are spread out and the way shooting is done, it allows for much more opportunities. This was a conversation that was started going into season 8 with Danai Gurira filming Black Panther, like, oh my god, they're going to kill off Michonne. No, The Walking Dead is a huge show, and as it goes into season 9, they're going to be covering even larger portions of the full landscape. So there's not going to be time for a lot of characters to be in every single episode, so this will probably work out for her very well. Plus, let's be honest, it's ABC, and while the concept kind of strikes me as something that would work for ABC, again, there's no guarantees, so I think you're going to see some multitasking go on here. It doesn't help, though, that she didn't have a contract when that was signed. It also doesn't help to bring up something else that had just come up that's not on this list, but then you have Kristen Chenoweth, who's just signed on for the season 2 of Trial and Error on NBC. But if you read that article and the comments that are coming out, it seems like a sledgehammer way of saying she's done with American Gods too. So I think you have a tale of two examples. But for the Lauren Cohan thing, again, by the time you watch this, I might be completely wrong, and they may say she's done with the series. But I think a lot of this is just good conversation leading up to this Sunday's premiere. So that's number 4. Number 3, we're looking at Disney. Disney's going to be bringing back the Muppets yet again onto their new streaming service, which is going to be geared more towards family-friendly fare, from what I understand. Again, I don't know why things are a little more complicated with the Muppets. Just make the Muppets, invest in a Muppets that's like the Muppet Show. I think it could be something like a Rocky and Bullwinkle, where you can get kids into it, you can get adults into it. It can still be cool and cutting edge, not corny, but also not something that you want to hide your kids from. I think it's something you could very much do. Again, just bring back the theater setup. Get some actors and performers. Look what Sesame Street gets on a regular basis in regarding to people to show up to do things. So I'm sure the Muppet Show, with everybody who's nostalgic for it, they'd be able to do this right. So Disney, streaming service, don't reinvent the wheel. Just give us the Muppet Show yet again. There are so many ways you can go, and especially now, social media and everything connected. Oh yeah, you could have a lot of fun with that. So looking forward to that. That's number 3. Number 2, The Daily Show's Michelle Wolf is been selected to be the main host comedian for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is sponsored by the White House Correspondents Association. There is no guarantee that Donald Trump will be attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner. If I had to wager whether he'd be attending or not, I'm doubting it, because if you've never checked out Michelle Wolf's videos from The Daily Show and how she has gone after Donald Trump in the past, yeah, she pulls no punches. And in fact, today, in something that just went across the press, she's even made it a point of saying, like, look, even if he's there, it's fair game. There are too many topics. I'm not going to pull any punches. So to me, that's just kind of her saying, like, show up. You can. If you think somehow your being there is going to intimidate me, you're going to get the same act as if you weren't there. So first off, I respect the comedians. I respect, again, the idea of the White House Correspondents' Dinner and what it's about. He's not going to show, but I really look forward to Michelle Wolf's performance and how she brings it. I love her work on The Daily Show, and I'm really looking forward to what she brings to Netflix with her new talk show too. So very, very cool about that. That was number 2. Moving on to number 1. Kylie Jenner and Snapchat essentially caused the stock of Snapchat to drop dramatically. That, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. You may be expecting me to go, oh my God, let me go rip on the Kardashians and let me go rip on the Jenners and everything. Nope. Don't blame them at all. They are doing the American dream, folks. When everybody starts talking about how, oh my God, they don't really do anything, how are they famous? Yet you're talking about them. You're going on social media. You're caring about them. I don't blame them. You can really do well with good PR and not a lot of actual stuff produced. I don't blame them. Not in the least. Anybody in the past who's ever gone after me with Kim Kardashian, I'm like, you need to back off from her. She is a businesswoman doing what she needs to do, taking what she got and going with it tenfold. I have a lot of respect for that, a ton of respect for that. So again, when I read this and everybody's like putting their hands up in the air and everything, we're all collectively the reason why somebody can put a tweet out and send a company's stock just spiraling downward. As much as everybody's scratching their heads, you're talking about people. You're perpetuating it. So my props. If you have the power and you got that kind of stroke, go with it. I don't fault it at all. And if anybody has any problems or any complaints, if any of you out there are looking at me thinking like you're crazy or insane, blah, 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 again, just remember, the next time that you're on social media having a conversation about these people, you're just building up their credibility and you're building up their power base. Just something to keep in mind. Not preaching. I got my own stuff that I get into that I know are my guilty pleasures. I own it. But again, if you're going to complain, again, either step in to do something to change it or just smile and accept it. Either way is cool. Just own it. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Static. As I said, we got a couple things coming up. First, blatant plug. This Sunday, The Walking Dead returns for its Season 8 mid-season premiere, which is a lot. It's called Honor. We're going to be doing a live blog. We're going to be going for our Walking Dead pregame starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 9 p.m. is when the game show starts. That is the mid-season premiere, and it's going long. It's going to be almost 90 minutes. So we're going to be live blogging. Make sure you join me. We're going to have some posts going up about it between now and Sunday, but again, that'll be Sunday night. Also, this weekend, we're going to have some cool stuff going up through the Weekly Static extras, including some stuff on iZombie. I think I'm going to be doing a media and gun control piece through the Weekly Static that should see the light of day this week also. And we have a very cool series from a set visit we got coming up that you're going to be hearing about in the next day or two. Got a lot of interviews and videos from that coming up that we're going to roll out next week too. And there may or may not be something called the Daily Static that I might be experimenting with next week. But I will let you guys know about that. But otherwise, guys, thank you for joining me. Really, really appreciate it. Glad to have you guys here for this. Have a great, great weekend. Once again, this guy here, Ray Fluck, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool, on behalf of Rocky, on behalf of Trejo, on behalf of Bat-Murr, which is across the room. Thank you guys for joining Weekly Static, and I will see you guys on bleedingcool.com. Take care.